Hello. So today I want to talk about koi fry growth. So these are the tobies out the Puricina spawn. Well, there's one in there that's not a toby. But as you can see, the one in the middle now, and then the tobies. Now what tobies are, the fry that they grow silly, and once they get to a certain size, then they'll go round and kill all the other fry, because they're not big enough to eat them, but they can get half the body in the mouth, and then they chew the tail up, and then your fry die. Now I've just taken one out, quite a big sankey out the Puricina spawn. There's another one. You can just see the sankey markings coming on his back there, the one in the front. Another one there, look, just coming across with nice sankey markings coming on his back. Say these are tobies. Don't take them out, don't cull them. You know, I have had some tobies that turned out to be real nice fish, so it's worth just putting them in a separate net. I mean, I'm lucky in here because we have got these Doitsu Kohaku fry, what's left that wasn't deformed. They're in here, and they're roughly about the same size, so you can see there's little fish on the bottom cleaning the bottom of the net. Look, they're doing their job. They're pulling all the uneaten food out the net. You can see how clean it is. So, back to the sankies and the Puricina. So, these are the fry. Just, if you are growing fry, don't get disheartened because your fry aren't growing like somebody's posted and says, oh, my fry are an inch within 7 days, and your fry are only as big as what these are. You know, don't go in and think, oh, I'm not feeding them enough. Like this, there's another toby there up the side of that. He'll be chasing round, trying to bite others in half, eating all my best fry. And say, don't get disheartened thinking your fry aren't growing fast enough. You know, you've looked on the internet and somebody says, oh, my fry are an inch in 7 days. I've been doing it 20 years. I've never had a fry grow an inch in 7 days. And I've tried everything. Over the years we've fed them, well, I just stick to brine shrimp, decapsulated brine shrimp, and egg yolk. That's the best thing I find to grow them. And say, we hatch the brine shrimp in here, we feed that into them. The decapsulated brine shrimp is on here. These are the decapsulated ones, and all they are, they're just brine shrimp eggs where they've been dipped into bleach and it's stripped the shells off them. They're supposed to be a bit stronger in protein, makes them grow a bit more, but I don't think it does. It's just a matter of time. You know, just keep feeding them, keep trickling that food in, and they'll grow. Don't go chucking loads and loads of food in and then polluting everything up, and then you'll lose all your fry. Just keep trickling it at least 4 times a day. If you can, 6. And say this filter, it's only a little box filter. It's absolutely blinding, this. You know, we haven't got any readings. I come in every 2 days, drop 6 inch of water, just fill it back up with dechlorinated water, and that keeps the KH okay. That's another good thing to get in. Always test your KH if you've got an indoor grow tank and you're growing fish inside, because once all your KH has been used up by your filter, your pH will drop. So your pH will crash, and that'll kill all your bacteria in your filter. Also, it won't do your fish any good. So Keep checking your KH every few days and make sure you've got about 6 drops in your test, and that'll just keep your filter in. So once you've got your bacteria all built up and you're feeding your, let's say you're feeding you 6 feeds a day, you've got enough bacteria in there every day to cope with it, and your fry will grow. And as your fry grow, your bacteria will grow in your filter because they're producing more, so you've got more bacteria. With your KH, if you've got really poor KH coming out in your tap water, you can buy a KH buffer. NT Labs do it, we use it in here. I will say if the KH drops, we'll just put a cap full of this in and it raises it, and away we'll go again. But don't add the KH buffer if you've got an ammonia reading, because the KH buffer also raises the pH slightly. So if you've got ammonia in your tank or in your pond, and you add that, then your pH will go above 8, and then if you've got an ammonia reading, it'll start to burn your fish. So I do recommend you always check your ammonia before you add that. So most people's KH in the hose pipes or at the tap, it normally comes out about 4ish. 4's not bad, as long as you don't let it drop below and your filters will work. Plenty good enough for these anyway. Until they get to an inch and they start really producing ammonia, that's when you start having problems. But then you could use a trickle in, trickle out system. And say, I don't bother trickling in, trickling out. All we do, we've got that filter, we've got this net. You can see how fine the meshing is on the net. They can't get in there. We do get odd ones get through somehow. There must be Houdini. The pump's in the net. We'll say that food on the bottom there, all we do, we'll get a big tub, put it outside, hose pipe, siphon it out, and if you do suck any fry up, well, all we do, I'll show you actually, get the hose pipe, get it so it's running, put your finger over the end, and put your hose pipe right to the floor, and then wherever your food is, just take your finger off and just keep going like that, and it'll suck all the food up, and you can clean the bottom of your tank. Obviously the other end is in your tub. If you do suck any fry up, you can net them back out and put them back in your tank, and then you haven't lost any, and your bottom's all clean again. This is actually due to be done tomorrow. I did it 2 days ago, and you can see how bad it is now. Right, fry update on the bog pond. Right, so the shower fry, they've grown really well. I'd say they're on par with them ones in the building. There was, when the water was green and we first put them in, it would have been full of rotifers. Rotifers they just feed on green water. Perfect fry food at the beginning. But now, I think all the rotifers, I think they've had them all. The growth rate's slowing down now, but we are feeding brine shrimp, we are feeding egg yolk. Same as this, we've got a pump in the net. Homemade filter. If anybody wants to see how we made this filter, it's a backy shower type filter. It's got backy shower media in. If anybody wants to see how to make one, just drop me a message and I'll do a video. So you could probably make one of these for about £50 to coat a pool of this size. This is the same. We've got no ammonia, no nitrite, and we're feeding an egg a day, and then we're feeding a bottle of brine shrimp. So it's doing the trick. It'll grow them to an inch, and then they can come into the building, go in one of the other tanks, and then we can grow them properly then. It's just at the minute there's still way too many fish in here for me to introduce another 2 million fry in here. A quick look. So way too many fish in here. They are going down, but they're just not going down fast enough. But these we're going to save, so we can't count them, can we? So thanks again for watching. If you'd like to see all these fry grow up, and please subscribe. Big thank you to everybody who has subscribed. It's nice to know that, you know, people do want to see these videos. Hopefully you can pick up a few tips. Any questions? You're more than welcome to drop me a question. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when we breed the next ones.